If you're looking for the best Wi-Fi mesh system, here's a list you must see. We made this list based on our personal preference and sorted it based on the features, prices, quality, durability, and reputation of the manufacturers and customer feedback. Also, we've included options for every type of customer. So let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have TP-Link Deco X20. If you are looking for a top-tier Wi-Fi mesh system router to extend the range of your network, then we think the TP-Link Deco X20 is one of the best you can get. This mesh system is exceptionally easy to set up and has all of the features we would want with its companion app. You can monitor your network status, check the placement of satellite nodes, prioritize specific devices, and set up parental controls to limit network access or block content. The router and nodes are simple and sleek, with two WAN/LAN ports on the back of each for hardwired devices or for setting up wired Ethernet backhaul. This system is also Wi-Fi 6 compatible, making it a bit more future-proof than other routers in this review. It did quite well in our coverage test, and you should get solid data throughput for streaming or gaming with this X1800 router. We also like that this system is expandable with additional nodes, as well as compatible with other TP-Link Deco routers if you need additional coverage. However, this router system can be a bit on the expensive side for many people, especially if you aren't planning on using any of its advanced features or aren't likely to get a whole lot of Wi-Fi 6 capable devices anytime soon. We also noticed a slightly larger area of moderate coverage in our signal-to-noise ratio maps than other options with its 5 GHz network. But this could be easily remedied by tweaking node placement or adding additional points. It's a fantastic option and one we highly recommend for anyone looking to extend their Wi-Fi coverage and get much more control over their network. Moving on to the next at number 2 with Google Nest Wi-Fi router. If you are looking for a premium Wi-Fi mesh system, particularly if you have a Google-based smart home, then we think the Google Nest router system is a great option. Compatible with both Google Wi-Fi and Google Nest points, you can mix and match to get the perfect network for your needs and the layout of your home. We tested using a trio of Google Nest routers and saw some of the best coverage in our signal-to-noise ratio maps, in line with their impressively high claimed coverage area. These X2200 routers would also have more than enough data throughput for most users, allowing you to get the most of the bandwidth that you pay for. The routers are sleek and discreet enough to blend into the background, with each node having a pair of gigabit ports for any hardwired connection or wired backhaul. You also have plenty of features in the Google Home app, allowing you to optimize your network, blacklist devices, or filter content, even allowing you voice control over your network using the Google Assistant. Unfortunately, this is also some of the most expensive Wi-Fi mesh systems of the entire group, costing considerably more than many of the other options. We also found it to be a little more taxing to set up this system than some of the others, especially if you don't already have a Google Smart Home set up. The number 3 position is held by TP-Link Deco M5. If you are shopping for a mesh router system and the premium model's price tags are giving you pause, we would readily recommend the TP-Link Deco M5 mesh system. These mesh routers were some of the absolute easiest to set up in our experience, with the Deco app walking you through the process with a series of guided prompts, including satellite node layout. The app could automatically detect a node once it had been plugged in and quickly add it to the network, provided appropriate app permissions. The Deco app is intuitive and easy to use, allowing you to block or prioritize certain devices, as well as manage parental controls and check network health. We also like the low profile and modern look of the Deco M5 routers themselves, allowing you to discreetly hide them or make a subtle style statement. Each router also has 2 LAN ports for setting up a wired backhaul connection or for a hardwired connection to certain devices. Overall, we found very little to fault with the Deco M5. This system is rated for a C1300, capping your maximum data transfer rate just a bit sooner than the top-tier models. However, most people are more likely to be capped by their ISP before coming close to their router's top speed unless they pay for premium bandwidth or fiber. We also noticed the signal-to-noise ratio for this router dropped a bit in more areas in our test, though it still maintained what should be more than enough signal strength for a high-quality connection in the bulk of the test area. Next at number 4, we have TP-Link Deco M3. If you are shopping on a more restricted budget and are looking for a way to expand the coverage of your Wi-Fi network, and that's it, then we recommend the TP-Link Deco M3 with Extender's Wi-Fi Mesh System. This router costs a whole lot less than the top models and didn't perform too much worse. It's very easy to set up, with the Deco app quickly and easily guiding you through the connections of the primary router to your modem and the initial configuration of your network. Once that is done, you just plug in the wall-mounted extenders and the app adds them to your network. You even have the option of prioritizing devices, establishing parental controls on both content and access time, or even setting up Amazon's Alexa to give you voice control over your network. However, we did notice some larger areas of lower signal strength in our mapping tests with this system. The extenders can also be a bit harder to hide since they are larger units that plug directly into an outlet rather than using a power adapter and cable. Despite that, we think this is a great option for anyone shopping with limited funds and looking to extend their Wi-Fi coverage area quickly and easily. The number 5 position is held by TP-Link Deco S4. If you are shopping for an all-around solid Wi-Fi mesh system on a budget, then we think the TP-Link Deco S4 is another great choice. This mesh router is one of the easier to set up and has an impressive array of features. The TP-Link Deco app guides you through the physical connections and initial configuration with helpful diagrams and prompts. Once your network is set up, then you can set parental controls, enable a guest network, or prioritize bandwidth for certain devices, as well as link control your network to your Amazon Alexa smart home. This router system also displayed excellent coverage in our signal mapping test. However, we did find the design of this router to be a little less stylish than some of the other options. The units are also considerably larger, measuring 2 or 3 times taller than some of their competitors. The Deco S4 also only has an average maximum throughput with its AC1200 rating. All in all, we think this is a great middle-of-the-road router and is definitely worth checking out if you are shopping on a budget and looking for the most bang for the buck. The number 6 position is dominated by Amazon Eero Wi-Fi System. The Amazon Eero Mesh Wi-Fi System did quite well in most of our tests, and definitely will increase the overall coverage of your network compared to a single point source. It's quite easy to set up and install, perfectly integrating into an Amazon Alexa-based smart home, and lets you mix and match with other Eero products to create the optimal network. The actual units are sleek and compact, with a pair of gigabit Ethernet ports on the back for hardwired connections or wired backhaul if your house is wired with CAT5. However, we did find some flaws with this system. Our biggest issue is the need to pay for a subscription to EeroSecure or EeroSecure Plus to use features that are included with other options. We also found the app to be a little more difficult to navigate than some of the others. This could be a great option if you are looking for a router that connects perfectly with your Amazon smart home, or if you like being able to create profiles for each person on your network. If that's not the case, however, then we might suggest checking out other routers. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Google Wi-Fi System. If the price of the Google Nest routers is a bit outside your budget but you are looking for a product that will seamlessly connect to your Google smart home, then the Google Mesh Wi-Fi System might be a good option. It offers solid coverage with its 3 diminutive routers and has most of the features that we would want, including parental controls and a guest network. You can also pause access for individual devices. You can also use a mix of Google Nest routers and Google Nest points with the Google Mesh routers, allowing you to upgrade later and still retain compatibility. However, while this Wi-Fi mesh system is less expensive than the Nest router, it still is far from the cheapest system out there, making it a bargain if you want a Google router, but not necessarily the best bargain overall. We also found that this router was a little more difficult to set up, as you need to set up an entire Google smart home before setting up your network. Also, you don't have too many options for prioritizing devices, only allowing you to set a single device to priority access. It definitely isn't our overall favorite mesh router, but it does fine, particularly if you are looking for a Google router for your Google smart home. The number 8 position is held by Meshforce Whole Home Wi-Fi Suite. Finishing at the back of our list, we don't think the Meshforce M3S came close to the top-tier products. This router does offer solid range and has average maximum data throughput, as well as most of the features you might want. It claims that it can support up to 60 devices and has smart OS, parental controls, and a guest network, as well as being capable of wired backhaul or hardwired connections with 2 ports on the back of each node. The installation process took us a bit longer with this product, as you need to connect to the network with the default SSID and password, then go through the initial configuration in the app. We also found the app to be quite a bit less intuitive to use and doesn't integrate with either Alexa or Google Home. We also had to reset this router more frequently in our test. This is a relatively inexpensive mesh router system, but we just weren't huge fans of it, especially since we felt other comparably inexpensive products outperformed it considerably. Next at number 9, we have Asus ZenWiFi AX X8. With the Asus ZenWiFi AX X8, Asus has managed to introduce Wi-Fi 6 to that other cutting-edge tech and connectivity, mesh routers. While it is among the more expensive options out there and limits you to 2 mesh routers, the Asus ZenWiFi AX offers blazing fast speeds as well as plenty of flexibility in its setup, such as the option to set up 1 or 2 network using the 2.4 and 5 GHz bands. With excellent security features to boot, this is a fantastic choice if you're looking at the best mesh Wi-Fi routers. The Asus ZenWiFi AX X8 is quite possibly the best router the company has produced, and it's one of the best mesh router systems and best Wi-Fi 6 routers we've tested. You can't buy the Asus ZenWiFi AX X8 directly from Asus, but it's widely available online. If you're in the UK and just need a Wi-Fi 6 upgrade for your existing router, then you can buy a single ZenWiFi AX for PS $219.99, which can cover an area of up to 2,475 FT, although that single router option doesn't currently seem to be available in other countries. The two-piece mesh system that we review here covers a more extensive 4,400 FT and costs a rather hefty PS $399.99/US $449.99/$899. It's available in either black or white, but be careful not to confuse it with the less expensive Asus ZenWiFi AC C8, which is virtually identical but, as the name suggests, still uses the older 802.11 AC version of Wi-Fi. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by Netgear Orbi Pro Wi-Fi 6. It's taken 6 iterations, but those promoting wireless networking have finally realized that many of the people buying it do not understand, or want to, the differences between IEEE 802.11 and IEEE 802.11x, or any other designations like that. Their solution is to rebrand the latest wireless standards to be Wi-Fi 5 and Wi-Fi 6 so that the non-technical public has a better understanding of why they might buy the latest equipment. But for those that realize that Wi-Fi 6 is also known as IEEE 802.11x, the reason that Netgear might want a new version of its previously launched Orbi Pro networking router will make sense. That's all for today. We upload product review videos every single day, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.